Hey buddies, I wanted to check out this new plugin called Dehancer. Okay, so what it does is it emulates film stock. Obviously most things now are shot on digital, but everyone loves that old kind of classic 16mm, 35mm, even that 8mm look of old film. It's got a real beauty, a real kind of graininess, a real quality, just feels like so much nicer. Okay, so I thought I'd just try it out on taking an old music video to begin with that I did years ago. Okay, and it was shot on a Canon 7D camera. Okay, here it is. And as you can see, it all looks very nice and clean. Okay, I used actual, this isn't color grading here. Okay, I used actual filters on the camera lens, like a tobacco filter and a kind of sort of pinky filter and some sort of tobacco filters to give it these looks. Okay, but as you can see, it's very stylized, and I thought this would look great with a kind of film look on it. Okay, because it all looks lovely colours but very clean. Okay, so what I've done is I've played about, okay, here, and now we've got these lovely, there you go, you can see the difference there, how it's got this grainy texture, it's got more subtle colours, it kind of just feels like old film. So let's dive in to the plugin. So here we are, here it is, Dehancer. Okay, and so what I've done on here is, okay, I've not used an input LUT, okay, because it's not shot on kind of raw or log format. Okay, but on here, on the film, okay, we've got a big list, like a huge list, okay, and they keep updating it all the time. So if you go to like check profiles, so there you go, it's checked for some camera updates, and you can see it's added some more films, some more cameras. Okay, so they're often updating these. I've noticed, get an email sent through saying we've added some new looks, some new cameras. All right, so here we go. So this is where the magic happens. So basically I've chosen one of these that I liked, and there's lots to go through. Okay, there's all kinds of different ones, you know. You can play about finding a look for your film. So I'll just go back to the one I had. Okay, there we go. And like I said, it's a big list of these to choose from. One thing which would be nice, and I'd probably, because it's a plugin, it can't be done, but obviously on the Lumetri color panel, okay, so if we go to color and you go to a, say, okay, you go into the creative panel, okay, you get like a little preview of the different looks, and that would be great on here, but obviously this has to live in the effects panel, so that may just not be possible. But that would be a little thing I'd love to see added if there was a kind of little preview, but again, I don't know if that's possible. Okay, let's go back to the editing window there. All right, so let's just go through a few of these settings. Okay, so obviously you can turn them on and off. So I've got the film look enabled on this. Okay, and there we are. And then we've got all kinds of settings here for things like, okay, we can take up or down the contrast. So obviously film is often a little nice to take it down a little bit on the contrast. Okay, we can do we can boost colors or desaturate them. Okay, I want to keep the colors there. Okay, we can go into film compression, okay, which will kind of reduce the kind of dynamic range of the film, making it more in line. So I've ticked that on. You can see how, okay, it's kind of, though it's brightening, move it up, it's darkening. Okay, so you can see the effect there. And again, we've got a lot to play about with here. We've got things like tonal range, That's kind of nice. Okay. So there's lots of settings. Color density. Okay, it's making it nice, kind of lush, filmy, but not oversaturated. Alright, so again, so we've got film, we've got we'll go through all of these. Okay, we can change things like the black and white points. So obviously you can increase kind of the contrast there. Okay, that looks kind of nice. Maybe don't want it too much. Yeah, about 15. Yeah, about there. Okay, so again, we can do here. We've got print. Again, we've got different little looks here. So there's some kind of nice, and we can again play with the saturation here. So film printing will be like the final part of the color process, as it were. Okay, again, you can tick all of these on and off. Alright, so we've got print. Now this is where we've got some real magic, is the grain. Okay, to really give it that film look. There's a bunch of different grain settings, or custom. So, okay, so if you go for like, say 65mm, let's zoom right in, like to 800%. There you can see with the grain on. Okay, film grain on and film grain off. See how smooth that is. Okay, if we go down to like 8mm, even grainier, or you can even go custom. Okay, and then you can like really kind of, you know, ramp up the size and the amount. You could make it kind of crazy. Okay, really grainy. All right, so I'm just gonna go for like let's just go for like a 35mm. So I just don't want too much grain. Okay, just enough to give it that film look. The halation, you can see on this little bit of red here, if I enable this, okay, can you see how we got like a more of a red kind of glow around there? Let's zoom in a little. Okay, let's go on to that. There we go. So if we take that off, you can see, so it's just kind of pinging out those red areas. There we go. Again, you can change different kind of stocks. Okay, or we can even go into custom. Yeah, and really kind of, see, the more we can amplify that, increase the impact. There you go. Turn it off. You see, so it's pinging those red areas. All right, which is a nice look. And then we can add some like bloom. Okay, again, we'll give it a little kind of diffusion on the bright areas. You can see there how that's making those lights ping. Then we can add some film damage. Again, we can go for like custom looks. Okay, and then we can go and add some gate weave, which will give a little kind of shake of the film. All right, and we can add vignettes. All right, but basically, don't want to take too long on this. There's lots to play about with here. Okay, but we can see how, so I've put quite a lot on there. So if I was doing this for real, okay, if I was to go and revert this, you can see here what I had was not too much, but it's got a really nice kind of natural film look quality. A lot of these film filters kind of feel like a kind of Instagram filter. They almost go too far sometimes. But this, you can really play about and just find something nice and subtle. So you can see here, you know, we've got some great like looking shots there. And there we go. And without and with. There you go. Okay, so that is an old music video that I've given a film look. And I really like that. Now here I've got some actual red footage from a film was shot on a red camera called The Landlady. Okay, now as you can see, this is kind of raw footage. So if you were to go to effect controls and go to source, okay, source settings, okay, we've got all these kind of settings here. But I'm not going to do any of these. I'm just going to use the Dehancer on this to do. Okay, so that's the original and that's the new one. So we can really see the difference between those two. And as you can see, we've got some grain on this. And so if we go to the effect controls, let's just take this and make a new clip, new sequence. Okay. So first thing I did with this was I went and found my Dehancer. There it is, drop it on. And on the input, well, I'm going to go and choose camera. And I know what camera it was, so I can go and pick that. And already, okay, looks much better. And I might just take the temperature, just change it a little bit. Okay, so we can warm it up, cool it down, just cooling that down a little. And just taking it more. Okay, so again, kind of happy with that. All right, and so that's our input, and then we can go for a film look. Okay, so we've got all these different film profiles. Okay, if that's enabled, you can see there. Okay, so there's lots to choose from. So on this one, going back, we can take a look, and I used. Okay, Kodak Gold 200, which let's go for the same one here. Okay, Kodak Gold 200. A nice kind of warm feel. So already, okay, we go to the source, making a huge difference there. Okay, just a few settings changed. Let's go and add a bit of compression. Okay, so you can see how it's bringing those highlights down. Okay, if we go into the window here and go into the lumetri scopes, okay, you can see if we take that off, okay, the compression, let's take that off and let's go to the scopes. Okay, you see they pop back up and add that on. There we go, it's taking them down a little. Okay, and then we can go and, well, there's different prints. Okay, that's kind of nice. Might just take down the saturation a little bit, not too much, just a tiny bit. Okay, yeah, and then let's go kind of going to stick with the colors. Okay, we can really play about with the colors. Let's enable this, as you can see. All right, but I'll just reset that. Okay, I'm kind of fine where they are for now. Okay, so let's add some whole grain. Okay, so that's enabled, and don't want too much. I'll go for that 65mm. Okay, so I'm just adding a little bit of grain here. We zoom in. You can see there we go for something a bit bigger. You'll see there's more grain. Okay, I just want something kind of a little subtler. Don't want to overdo it. Okay, and we've got this halation here. Well, let's enable that. And one nice thing is this mask mode. Okay, so let's go into custom, and you can just kind of see these little dots of red here. Okay, so let's amplify that a bit more so you can see those a little more. Okay, background, we can play about with these. There you go. So I'll roll that back so you can really see it. So you can see there these red bits. Okay, so we can add more diffusion to that. Okay, so this mask mode is really helpful for seeing where the effect is happening. Okay, so obviously I don't want too much, so I'm just going to go with one of the presets. Okay, and turn off the mask mode. And the same with the bloom. I'd like a little bit of kind of diffusion here, a little ping there. So again, on the mask mode there, we can enable this. And what I'm going to do is go into custom, and let's take the kind of impact. up so we can see how. Let's take the diffusion up. That'll soften it more, and let's amplify it. There you go. So I can see there where I'm going to have these nice little blooms. Okay, so I'll take mask mode off. Okay, so I'm really kind of getting that like little nice softness to the hair there. Okay, and then finally I'm just going to add some gate weave to this. Okay, again I'm just going to go for a small amount. Okay, I can do custom, but just the 65mm will just give me enough. And I'm going to add a little vignette to this as well. So I'm going to just take down, enable that, just to darken off those corners. Okay, but maybe make the size a little smaller. I just want a little vignette. Okay, so we can see going through here. There we go. So let's take the effect off and compare. There you go. Okay. So let's now take a look at how we can use this on a phone. I've opened Dehancer on the iPhone, okay, and here I've just got a clip of a back street in my hometown of Morecambe. That would look good with a bit of a film look, give it a kind of 70s documentary feel. Okay, so the version on the kind of App Store doesn't have as many features as the full version on the desktop, but you still got all these great presets that you can play about, and they do look great, you know. So we've got all the different kind of film stocks here, and I quite like it's got black and white, lots of different looks. Okay, that's quite nice. Let's play with that. Or yeah, I quite like the Kodak, and you get a nice little preview of how they're going to look. Okay, so here was the one I liked, was the Kodak and 500. There it is. That's kind of nice, and then we can go and edit that. Okay, and we've got different like features. Okay, so we can do things like change the black point. Okay, we can go into the developer. Okay, all these different features. Okay, so we've got a lot of the same kind of features there. Different films, source, you know, change the exposure, temperature. Okay, so go across the bottom here. Go ahead, film grain, add some grain to it. Okay, so we can take a profile like 8mm. Okay, and like I said, we've still got all these like settings: halation, bloom. Okay, and okay, so we can change these. We can vignette it. All right, so you got film damage. Add some film damage. Okay, and there we go. Dust amount. Okay, let's play that. Okay, so there you go. So obviously on a phone you can't really see that film grain, so what I'm going to do is export that out at full res and open it on the desktop to see how it looks. So here we've got the before and after footage that I've sent over from my iPhone. Okay, so you can see with the grain, it really transforms the image. So all in all, it's a great plugin. Now, I guess the only downside is it's quite expensive, but it is a professional tool. So if you're going to use it for work and, you know, serious filmmaking, then it could be a great investment. I like it, and I'm going to use it a lot in the future. Thanks for watching, buddies.